The White House today rejected a call by the House Dems for documents related to conversations between President Trump and Russian President Putin. President Trump's White House counsel asserting the president's diplomatic communications are confidential. The request beyond Congress's so-called legitimate realm of inquiry. Joining us tonight is Congressman Matt Gaetz, member of the House Judiciary and Armed Services Committees. Congressman, great to have you with us. What do you make of this request by the House? Is this going to be the standard from now on? They're just going to throw out wide nets and start annoying every agency of the federal government?
House Democrats are searching for everything because they've found nothing. Lou, we're now more than 2 years into this presidency, and there is yet to be any evidence of collusion or conspiracy or illegal activity of any kind by the president as it relates to Russia. And so in anticipation of those findings in the Mueller report, which we expect any day now, potentially even tomorrow, Democrats are having to launch 81 new prongs of investigations to try to find something to discredit President Trump. Now, I think when we voted for President Trump, none of us ever would have expected that we were putting at issue every business dealing that he had ever done dating back to the 80s or 90s. Yeah. I think that this is has a real chilling effect on the presidency, because when you run for president and get elected, you don't open up every facet of every decision you've ever made in your life leading up to that point. We want our presidents focused on the things Donald Trump's working on, reinvigorating the economy, ending wars, renegotiating trade deals, and creating the economic momentum that you covered with Larry Kudlow in the last segment.
Yeah, and to think that of the 81 entities and individuals, 61 individuals, that documents had been sought from as in the course of this quote-unquote investigation. 8 agencies did respond, meeting the deadline, but that means that the rest told the House committee to go to hell. I was encouraged by that, to tell you the truth.
And there's no obligation for those individuals to produce anything in the absence of a subpoena. But Lou, the hypocrisy here is absolutely deafening. You heard Democrats say over and over again, we have to wait for the Mueller report. It's all about the Mueller report. We have to protect the Mueller investigation. And now those very same Democrats are saying, well, forget about the Mueller report. We now have to go look into these 81 new things and plow all this new ground that has nothing to do with the original claims that they made. And I think the American people are going to be pretty ticked off that Democrats lied and said there was cold, hard evidence. There was demonstrable proof of collusion with Russia. We have seen none of that, and it proves these are not people we can trust.
People we can't trust. I want to turn very quickly to illegal immigration, the border security crisis, the national emergency. What is going to unfold here? What are the solutions? We're told the detention centers are being overrun. We've got a Department of Homeland Security that cannot figure out what to do, despite the fact that they have more than twice as many agents as 11 years ago, when there were even more illegal immigrants being apprehended and coming across the border. DHS looks like an agency, a department that is totally out of control here.
But Lou, there is no department that can deal with our border in the absence of a physical barrier and the other tools we need to stop illegal immigration. And right now we've got a Democratic Party that's ready with their new, patron saint in Beto O'Rourke to tear down the physical barriers that we have. And so I think that with the president, we're trying to disincentivize illegal immigration by making investments on the border. The president's budget, which he just rolled out, articulates border security and a physical barrier as a priority. But Democrats won't even take a vote on the president's budget because they have no immigration policy. You got half the Democratic Party that wants to go borderless and abolish ICE, and the other part of the Democratic Party that ran in districts that Trump won, and they're promising to work with Republicans, but they're so busy with these crazy investigations that they won't sit down at the table and work on reasonable solutions to secure the border.
The reasonable solution, it seems to me, is to build the wall. The president's national emergency declaration
build the wall, e-verify, end chain migration, crack down on sanctuary cities. It's not like we don't know how to do this. It's not like illegal immigration is this mystery that no one can solve. No political courage.
The president has the money. There's the border. Where's the wall?
Well, the president has just released, actually, to some of us, the information on the different projects in military construction where monies are going to be reappropriated for the wall. And I think that that shows progress toward that end. But it must be incredibly frustrating to have all of the Democrats and even some of the Republicans working against building a wall and having the type of border security structure that we need if we want to preserve our country.
Congressman, always good to have you here. Thanks so much. Good to talk.
Thank you, Lou.